Well, hello, and welcome to episode 44 of Aftershock Weekly. This week we're going to talk about pay-per-click marketing again. It's good to refresh on what's important when you're building out pay-per-click campaigns, what to look at, what to focus on so you can get the best results. So let's start with this. First thing you want to identify is the location and area of where you want to serve up your ads. If you're a local restaurant in Tempe and you're trying to attract people that search for Mexican food near me, well, you want to make sure that you're in a very close proximity. If you're a company that sells online nationally, well, that's not as important. Eventually, you can identify things like different parts of the country that are more likely to purchase your product, but it's important to take location into mind when you're setting up your campaigns. Next thing is time of day you want your ads to run. When do you want your ads to be triggered? If you're only open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., then you probably only want to have your campaigns on maybe a little bit before that and after if you don't have an answering service after the fact, or if you don't have a good follow-up on your website for somebody to submit a form and get information the next day. So keep that in mind when you're setting up the times of day that you're running. Also, what days a week? If you're only open Monday through Friday, does it make sense for you to have ads on Saturday and Sunday? Sometimes the answer is yes, because people will wait. Maybe you own a business like an insurance company and you only work from 9 to 5, but 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. But you have people searching on Saturday when they're talking to their significant other about car insurance, or maybe they're purchasing a home and they're just doing some research online. Well, you still want to trigger that ad so that can turn into a lead that you can get to, on Monday. So keep those things in mind of when you're willing to be on what days of week and what time. So the next thing, and this is probably the most important element I'm going to talk about, is your match types when you're putting in your keywords. There's 4 different match types. You have broad match, which means that if we said yellow flower, it could show up for maroon flower or maroon rose, because it's so broad that it'll show for a lot of search queries. Now then you have broad match modified, and that's a plus sign by yellow flower, and it's only going to show for something very similar to yellow flower, maybe a misspelled yellow or flower, but it'll also allow things by a yellow flower. It'll still trigger even though it's adding to that phrase, but those 2 specific keywords have to be in there when there's a plus sign. Then you have phrase match. Phrase match means that yellow flower exactly has to be in a phrase. I want to buy a yellow flower. Buy yellow flowers near me. And then there's exact match. And exact match means only that specific phrase will trigger an ad. Yellow flower. So anything added before, in between, or after will not trigger on exact match. So the first thing is get rid of broad match. Do not use broad match keywords. It's a huge waste of money. I can tell you that I've seen it on many campaigns that come over to us to take over, and it will trigger crazy searches that should never show your ad. And it's important that you don't use broad match. Broad match modified, you can use sparingly. You can definitely use it because it's going to make sure that those keywords have to be in the phrase or the search query that's triggered, but you don't want to use it too much. Mostly phrase match and also exact match are what you're going to want to use and to hone in over time, and you'll have longer tail keywords that you're going to be able to see through time that you can add in to your campaigns. So next, negative keywords. What keywords that if they're in the search query do you not want to trigger an ad? So let's say you don't want to sell your service for free, or you don't want to add a free consultation. Well, free is probably a good thing to use as a negative keyword. Let's say you're selling homes, but you don't want to sell mobile homes, let's just say. Well, mobile would be a great negative keyword, so if it shows up anywhere in the search query for one of your terms, it's not going to trigger your ad. So next, ad extensions. Ad extensions are extremely important because it makes your ad look as big as possible. There's a variety of them. There's site link extensions that are different parts of your site that you can have a description and link out to there. Call extensions, meaning a phone call where your phone number shows up, they can click directly on that and call your business. A location extension shows where your location is, pulls directly from Google My Business. You have call out extensions, which is just an extra line of text that they give you. And it makes your ad as big as possible. There's other review and there's app extensions, but making sure that you fill out as much as you can so that your ad can be as big as possible when it shows up is going to give you a higher likelihood to be clicked on. The ads themselves. Always run 2 ads for any different ad group, meaning that you want to have an A/B test going. The A/B test could be as simple as I'm going to change the subject line, or I should say the double headline on one and change it on the other and see which one gets a better click-through rate. You could also test 2 different landing pages, 2 exact ads that are sending to different landing pages so that you know which landing page is working better. But you should always have 2 ads running and you should be testing something to try to make it work better. So lastly, you want to have conversion tracking set up. You want to make sure that if somebody submits a form, makes a call on your site, makes a call from your ad, that all those things are tracking for conversion so that you can boil it down to, okay, these are the actions that were taken from the ads that I spent money on. I got 10 phone calls, I've got 4 form submissions in the last week, and then you can quantify that into, okay, that's equivalent to X amount of business. Each one of those is worth $500, let's say. So we had $7,000 come in business and we spent $500 in ads. That way you can quantify an ROI. If you're not tracking it, it can't be measured. So it's very important that you do that. So I hope this helps you with your mindset on pay-per-click marketing. So if you ever need help or want someone to manage these campaigns for you, that's what we do. So we're here for that. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. With that, I'll leave you with a quote.